I just want to echo the thank you to those of you who are here for this Resilience and Action Take Two talk. And I am so excited to be here with two awesome Gateway seniors. And honestly, just getting to spend some time talking with them to prepare for this might be the highlight of Shelter in Place for me. So thank you to Krystal and Masiyah for joining us. And I think you actually might be the highlight of Shelter in Place for our audience too. So I was hoping we could start by just you each doing a brief introduction of yourselves. They know that you're seniors and that you go to Gateway. So things people might be interested in are where you're going to college, what you're interested in, just briefly anything interesting that you might want to share with our audience, and then I'll take it from there.
Okay.
First.
Okay. Thanks, Krista. No, I'm just playing. But hello, everyone. My name is Masiyah. I'm going to Grambling State University. It's a HBCU, historically Black college university in Louisiana. I'm going there to pursue a degree in criminal justice in hopes of becoming a criminal justice attorney for juveniles. A couple hobbies. Let's start with clubs that's in school. So one club that I'm in is the Black Student Union. I love that club to death. I feel like if I wasn't a part of that club, I wouldn't have grown friendships and mentorships that I have now. I'm also a part of the 100% program, college to prep to college class, which is also at San Francisco State. I'm also a part of Omega Boys Club, Alive and Free, and yeah.
You did forget you won Student of the Year for the Boys and Girls Club.
And I did win the Student of the Year for Columbia Park 2020 Youth of the Year. That for me was really big. It just showed me that all my hard work really paid off. And it was just so exciting to see people see my brilliance and having an impact on youth.
Awesome. Thank you. Krystal.
So my name is Krystal. I will be attending University of California, Riverside next year. My major is cell molecular and developmental biology. I'm trying to become a researcher in a lab after college. And at school, I am the president and co-founder of the Asian Pacific Islander Student Union. And outside of school, I make YouTube videos.
You also are still working, even during Shelter in Place,
and right? I have a part-time job at a bakery.
Cool. So as you can tell, those of you who are listening, these are not slouches. These are two really accomplished, busy, powerful young women. And I'm just really thrilled to be here with you guys. So we called this Resilience in Action, and kind of what we said we were going to talk about with our audience is what it's been like and how you've adjusted to life after school closed for you. So I'm just gonna, for our audience, set the scene really quickly. You're both seniors. You've both been working hard for, 18 years to get to this senior spring where it's supposed to be all fun and parties and celebrations. And then sort of unbeknownst to all of us, everything changed on March 12th when we closed school. So I was wondering if you can tell us, maybe just start with like, what's your schedule been like since Shelter in Place started, and then we'll work from there. I've talked to you both, and I think they're going to get a kick out of what your schedules have been like. Krystal, why don't you go first this time?
Okay, so I complete my schoolwork. That's like assigned on Google Classroom, but I find myself doing it at 2 to 3 a.m. I also go to sleep at like 5 a.m. and wake up at 3 if I don't have anything to do.
3 p.m. You wake up.
Yes, 3 p.m. I mean, now that like the schoolwork's kind of done, I've been trying to like get myself in like a normal sleeping schedule, because like sometimes I do have to wake up early for work on Thursdays and Fridays. I start at 9 on Thursdays and then 9:30 on Fridays. So I do have days where I have to wake up, but on days where I actually have nothing to do, I guilty of sleeping in.
All right. And Masiyah, is your schedule totally different than that?
My schedule is totally different from that, but not too far apart.
Yeah.
So when we first got called into shelter in place and the schools were shutting down, I was under the impression that was only going to last like a week or two, and I was really excited because I had a big project coming up in civics. And then my so my sleep schedule, I would go to sleep around 9 o'clock every day, sometimes 11 o'clock, because I had a program in San Francisco that ended at 10. And now my sleep schedule is way off. I go to sleep at 1, and it's just like really crazy for me because my sleep schedule my whole entire life has been go to sleep at 9. Like I go to sleep really late. I mean early.
Mhm.
And as far as classes and my class schedule, it's been really hectic because I'm a part of so many programs. So it's like if someone calls me to do a Zoom, I have to do a Zoom. We're looking for new jobs. I do scholarships on Saturdays for about 3 hours, and then it's just really hectic.
Mm-hmm. So what time are you waking up these days?
I wake up at 12 or 1. See, it was a lot of stress trying to go to sleep last night because my body was telling me, no, like you shouldn't go to sleep. But I was like, I have to go to sleep because like I'm not going to wake up at the right time.
Yeah. So I asked this because, and I may have mentioned this to you, Krystal, when we talked the first time, like all the research in the world says high school shouldn't start at 8 a.m. because teenagers are not at your best early in the morning, right? And so we do because it's how you can still have a job, and it's how like I mean it makes sports work, and there are all sorts of things that make it work otherwise. But it's an interesting experiment. We leave you to your own devices, and all of a sudden your schedule just totally changes, right? So can you guys tell me, I have to imagine when it set in that we weren't going to go back to school, you had a range of emotions. And I'm wondering if you can tell me, and actually I just want to take the moment to say to you both, like how disappointed I am that this is how your time at Gateway is ending. We will still celebrate you. We'll figure out ways between our virtual graduation and senior checkout and maybe something when we're allowed to come out of our houses. But you guys deserve all the pomp and circumstance that and proms and all of that. So I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. And but I'm wondering if you guys can talk about just something that for you was a disappointment about this. There might be many, but like what's one thing that felt hard for you about this abrupt change in school and life when we went to shelter in place?
Masiyah, is it okay if I start, or do you want to start?
Oh, no, you could go. That's fine.
So like Masiyah said, initially, like I thought it was just gonna be like 2 weeks not at school, and like I was actually kind of happy because the day school closed, it was March 12th, and it was my birthday the next day. So I was like, yo, it's gonna be fine. I got no school. I'm going out to dinner with my friends. It's gonna be fine. Little did I know that was the last time I'll be dining out in like months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my friends did say that like, oh, like Krystal's birthday was like the last one before like everybody had to celebrate and shelter in place. But honestly, those little things don't matter to me. Like, I'm just kind of disappointed that we don't get to walk across stage and like have our diploma and like everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you, why is that so meaningful to you, Krystal?
Well, I mean, my parents graduated high school, but I am a first generation college student. So, I don't know. It would have just been nice to like hear my name be called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a really special moment, that name being called. Yeah, we're going to have to make sure you still feel that. Masiyah, how about you? What's something that's been a disappointment for you?
Well, as I explained it before to Ms. Olken, it's just like I'm not the type of person to dwell on me not having a graduation or a prom, but it's just like as this process has prolonged, I look back and I was looking through my camera roll at my friends from last year who were seniors, their graduation and their family going up to the stage while they called their name and just yelling, or as they walked through the doors into the auditorium, their family would be so happy. And it was just like a good feeling of remembering the music that was popular last year. And it just brought back a good feeling of everyone being happy and joyful because their child or their cousin just graduated. So just remembering that feeling is just like, wow, I'm not going to be able to experience that. But the plus side is that me and Krystal are going to college. So it's just like we're going to experience that graduation one way or another.
Mm-hmm. So you just started to sort of head into my next question, which I'm wondering, there's a lot to be disappointed about. But there's also things, and you both were able to talk about these, like there's a bright side, there's a silver lining, things that either it's your ability to see the bigger picture or things that you've been able to experience because of this time at home. So I was wondering if you could each just share something, and why don't we go Masiyah first, share something that is a silver lining for you of this time.
I feel like my silver lining, well, all of us, we all have no choice but to sit in our house and look at ourselves and figure out what we love about ourselves and what we don't like. And I feel like this quarantine has been a really big time for me to indulge in self-love and healing spiritually. I feel like without this time, I don't know where I would be. I would probably be just going without thinking and taking a step back to think about my life and how could I improve before and change my mindset before I go into college, because there's no way that you could just be prepared for college without taking a deep breath and just realizing, wow, I'm really experiencing and about to go into a new chapter into my life.
Masiyah, how old are you?
17.
You are so wise. My goodness. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks to Mr. Rogers too, because it took a lot for me to get here.
Mm-hmm. You were channeling Mr. Rogers a little bit, actually. I could hear him in you. Yeah. Krystal, how about you?
So none of my friends are gonna go to the same college. So I guess like the shelter in place is kind of like helping me live without them, because like my best friend Nicholas I see like every single day at school. I miss him so much, but like yeah, like I like visited him because I was gonna prom post to him, but there's no prom this year, so I just gave him the poster anyways. But I did see him like once, and I don't know, like I miss him, but it's kind of like teaching me to like live without my friends, I guess. Like obviously I know I'm gonna see them again, but like it's just kind of easing the distance, just because I have a friend who's going to City College, so she's gonna be here and she's like my sister, and I'm gonna be all the way in SoCal. So like that's hard. I used to see her every day also. Like we don't go to the same school, so we just always hang out after school or like on the weekends. Mm-hmm. If I'm not like at school, I'm probably with her. Like 70-80% chance I'm with her. Yeah. So yeah, it's.
Do you know the word proximity? Like being close to somebody physically. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking just this morning about how one of the things I think we're learning is that like being close to somebody isn't about being physically close to them, right? So maybe that's part of what you're learning is like we're being forced to not be physically close to people, but we are still close to them, right? And it's good to know that before you go off to college and you're not close physically to so many people that you love, you know? So that's a really great lesson to be taking from this. Yeah, that's really big. So that's also a really nice transition to talk about next year. So Krystal, you mentioned that you are first generation college bound. I just feel like I saw Masiyah clapping, but I'm sure everybody in the audience that we can't see is clapping too. That's so awesome. And I had the world is going to be a better place because you're going to be you're going to have so much opportunity. I'm just thrilled about that. And you're going off to college at a really weird time, right? So what have you heard so far from your college about how this might change things? And what are you thinking about as we get ready or as you start getting ready to go to college?
So I heard from my friends that the UCs aren't following in the footsteps of CSUs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think UCs will be doing half in-person classes and half online classes, which does make sense to me for like the science majors who can't just do labs in their kitchen. Like it's just not possible to complete like lab courses at home or like online. So I'm kind of glad that we do have that chance of like half of a college experience, you know, like better than none. I'm just really looking forward to dorming and like meeting all these new people.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like the people that I've been talking to that's going to Riverside next year. My roommate, she's actually also from the Bay Area, which is like, wow, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be rooming with someone who's like from Fremont. But like we also have a lot of things in common. So yeah, and like as I'm prepping to like leave for college, I'm like just trying to be independent because like growing up until now, my dad did my laundry. I learned how to do laundry like a month ago. Uh, and then like my mom just always cooks for me. I can't cook. Thank you to the food in the cafeteria for colleges and stuff because I don't think I'll probably burn the kitchen down if I'm being honest. Like I'm so sorry.
Okay.
That's my line.
Okay. I'm going to transition us to Masiyah while you deal with that, okay?
Okay.
So, how about you?
Okay, so for my college, everything is pretty much going to be the same. My college is really, it's in a secluded area anyways, so it's not like there's a nearby town or anything for students to, we're pretty much just all on campus. So I'm really just excited for me to go. I'm excited to meet new people. I've already met a lot of people there because a lot of people are coming from the Bay Area, also like Krystal. And also they have group chats and their own Instagram page where freshmen can meet each other. So it's been really good.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, so I have about 15 more questions for you, but I would really like to let people from our audience ask you questions. I just want to say one more time how amazing you both are, and
thank you.
like really how proud I am to get to talk to you and to see just how wise you are. It's really awesome. So I think to do the questions, I think Miss Lockhart is coming back. Oh, there she is. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great.
All right. So we have one question so far, but please, our audience members, please send in any other questions that you have. This one is from Sharon Gillenwater, who is on Gateway's Board of Trustees, and she's also an alumni parent of Gateway High grad, 2 Gateway High grads. So I would love to hear from the students about whether they see any positive aspects of this very unusual situation in which they have found themselves in. So you guys already talked a little bit about your silver lining, but is there any other part of this as you're thinking about senior year or college next year?
I also learned a couple of hobbies and stuff like that. I've gained a couple of hobbies. Like I've learned how to paint. I already knew a little bit, but given the time that I have, I've learned how to paint better. And also I've been into yoga.
That I make YouTube videos. I used to be a lot more consistent back in like sophomore year. Like I made it an effort to upload once a week, every single week, Tuesday at the exact same time, every single week. And it was kind of hard on me. Like I had to finish all my homework in a day on the weekend. So I have like another day to like edit, just because each video takes about 2 to 3 hours to edit. And I normally do it in one sitting so I don't lose my place. But like since junior year started, I got I like started taking harder classes like APUSH and Hamlet and like honors classes. So I kind of fell out of like being inspired, like video editing and all of that. So like this quarantine has given me the time to like re-find my passion for video editing. Although I don't want to pursue it like professionally, it's still like a nice hobby to have just because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to use Final Cut Pro, and I'm actually kind of like happy I like taught myself how to use it, like the very basics, but yeah.
What will you miss about Gateway, and what values will you take with you to college?
So one thing that I really will miss about Gateway is the people that I met in the community that we have created. For example, Black Student Union, and my favorite class, I would say ethnic studies. Like, it's just mind blowing how smart and intelligent that we are at this young age. Just like we could have a really, really deep conversation about concepts of race and social economic values, and it's just so beautiful. I didn't even know that I was going to meet these type of people. I didn't know I was going to have an engaging conversation. It's just like, wow, it just ended short, and I'm just so glad I got to meet these people. And I'm like, they're like my little sisters, because my little sisters and brothers, because I'm the oldest person in my ethnic studies class. So it's just like, I can't wait to see what they become.
So I'm gonna miss like APISU also. Being co-founder of the club kind of like made me realize that I was building leadership qualities that I didn't have before, or like kind of like improving them, even if I did have a little bit. So like that club's like really important to me.
Krystal, I think you told us what it was before we officially started the call.
Oh, it's the Asian Pacific Islanders Student Union. I decided to, well, technically restart the club because the club did exist before, but like before I was there. So I decided, me and another person in class of 2020, Aisha, decided to restart the club for representation of the Asian and Pacific Islander community. And I feel like we did a lot this year. We fundraised enough for all of us in the club to go to Angel Island to learn about the history of Chinese immigration and the Chinese Exclusion Acts and all of the racism towards the Asian community. We also got the entire school to celebrate Lunar New Year this year, and actually educated the school that not only Chinese people celebrate it, there's Vietnamese people that celebrate it also, and a lot of other communities under the Asian umbrella that celebrate Lunar New Year, which is why it was renamed from Chinese New Year to Lunar New Year. So that like actually made me feel like I did something like with the club, like with the entire school also. Like it wasn't just specifically us as a small little group. Like we included the entire school with making paper lanterns and showing a video on Monday Morning Video like about the history.
It was beautiful. The display in the hall was just gorgeous. Yeah.
But then also I will really miss all the support that Gateway has to offer. Without Gateway, I probably would not have gotten my first job like coming out of freshman year, and well, my first internship, but then also my first part-time job at Gap. Without Ms. Kamen, I don't think I would have such like a packed resume and so many skills that I can carry on with me in college, like interview skills, resume building, how to write a cover letter, all of this that I have gotten through Ms. Kamen and through the programs that she recommended me. So I was really thankful for that. Gateway offers a lot of support, whether it's finding your first job or applying to colleges, and I found it really helpful because as a first generation student, my parents didn't know how to apply to college, so they trusted me to do everything and like pick the colleges that I wanted to go to. They never like pushed on me like, oh, you have to go here or you have to go there. Everything was my choice, and I really appreciate my parents for that, but I also really appreciate Gateway for helping me and like having college counselors that I can actually talk to who understand this stuff.
Are you trying to make me cry, Krystal? Is that what you're doing here? Are you trying to make me cry?
I'm about to cry. okay.
Yeah, I know it's mutual. I saw actually. Yeah, we are actually out of time.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I know half an hour goes by like that when you have such amazing things to say. I just want to thank you both, Masiyah and Krystal, one more time for joining us today, for really just showing how much you've learned and how powerful you are. I want to thank people who came to listen. Thanks for spending this time with us. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy, and I hope everybody celebrates the class of 2020.